on 9/11, to every family that lost a loved one on this meeting with dictators, if it means working in our country's past, how, and the American people, and to bring about an end to that war. So
Coverage continues. And now, here's Guillermo Moreno and Jarris Jackson on the Central Valley's four-letter talk leader, Talk Radio 1680 KGED.
What a week it's been. The Democrats still don't have anybody. The Republicans are still going to win in 2020. And, the world's just going to keep ticking. The economy's going to keep getting better. Black youth unemployment's going to keep rocking on.
Lowest level it's ever been.
Yep. So, just a normal day at the office for Republicans, right? Just another day at the office for the Trump.
Guillermo, would you dare say that it's too much winning?
You know what? I'm getting tired of winning.
Woo!
Just tired of winning.
Everyone laughed at Trump when he said that, and look at it now.
We were tired. You and I would. You had just mentioned it before we came back on air. You said, man, the debates were duds. President Trump's rally wasn't. You weren't excited. I loved it. You weren't excited about it.
It was a good rally. It didn't have the fire around it. So we're sitting here on Friday. Thank God we got Diamond and Silk and Devin Nunes.
Devin Nunes coming up. That's right. Diamond and Silk was just on. So, it's been. This is breaking news, and I have to retract what I said earlier.
You did a little CNN action.
I did. I did some CNN action. Then I got to go back and make a correction.
So that's not CNN action because you went back. You're going to go back and make a correction.
Yeah. So Ocasio-Cortez, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. You got to say it fast. You know what I mean?
It's Trump
AOC.
said it best. Her name's too long to say, so you just do AOC.
AOC. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. AOC.
More time.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. It's not like a soccer player now. Go AOC. Anyhow, AOC. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's chief of staff, Saikat Chakrabarti. I'm pretty sure I butchered that.
Send him back home.
Wow. Saikat Chakrabarti has departed from her D.C. office to work with an outside group focused on pushing the New Deal. So her office just announced that. If you remember, Chakrabarti.
Hearing you struggle to say the name.
Chakrabarti. Well, I can do that because I'm minority, so I can butcher people's names. White people can't.
And then you can blame those underprivileged schools you went to because you grew up in a bad neighborhood. You can blame those.
I did not grow up in a rural neighborhood. I did Kerman, K-Town.
And you turned out like this. It's like a Kerman miracle. You turned out as good as you turned out, and you're from Kerman.
Oh wow,
that's a miracle there, brother.
Anyhow, I love Kerman Lions. This is what our mascot was. A lion.
Lions.
Lions.
Really?
Yeah, lions. All right. So Chakrabarti came under fire. If you remember, he came under fire in March when the Washington Examiner reported that his 2 PACs had funneled over $1 million into an LLC he controlled. Man, politics is big business, huh?
Embezzlement, baby.
Man, $1 million. $1 million.
Of course, politics is big business.
Well, I knew that. I was just throwing that out there. Chakrabarti's conduct.
One more time, Guillermo.
Chakrabarti's. I don't know. Every time I say it, it's
Charcoal grill.
Chakrabarti's conduct as AOC's chief of staff became the subject of ire from the moderate wing of the Democrat Party. In late June, he accused more moderate Democrats. Remember this, he accused Jim Costa. He accused more moderate Democrats of the Blue Dog Caucus of being hell-bent to do to the black and brown people what the old Southern Democrats did in the 40s.
He brought up the Dixiecrats.
Yeah.
I think I have a lot more in common with some current Democrats.
Yeah, so this guy, listen, this guy was not necessarily the best.
Was this the one that was also caught days after she announced the Green New Deal eating a cheeseburger?
It probably was.
Okay.
It probably was. Yeah, same guy. I mean, she only has one. Well, no, I think she might have a chief of staff back in her New York office. But yeah, there you go. Ms. Ocasio-Cortez, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. It looks like she's going to be...
You're getting ready for Univision when they partner with ABC to do that debate, huh?
That is very true.
Yeah.
And look, the next round 3, of which only 7 candidates have qualified for.
Oh, Guillermo, but I have some breaking news for you, sir.
Oh, we have more qualified...
We have another qualified candidate. Can I please get a drum roll, Guillermo? The candidate who has qualified... Okay, it's going to have to be a longer drum roll than that. Candidate who has qualified... The abominable snow woman herself.
Oh, are you serious?
Amy Klobuchar. She has made it into the September debate. And
why?
Texas, I don't know.
Why? Tulsi Gabbard needs she needs a new person every minute to qualify, according to her website. Tulsi Gabbard.
You got to keep this watchable, please. For all that's holy, keep Tulsi Gabbard in the race.
Amen to that. I mean, yeah. Here is
he realized he agreed a little too strongly.
Yeah, here's Tulsi Gabbard. So Tulsi Gabbard here is going after MSNBC. I'll let you play. Here's Tulsi Gabbard recently.
No, if it means meeting with dictators, if it means working with people who do things that we find abhorrent,
or meeting with Bashar al-Assad, but not necessarily meeting with the leader of Saudi Arabia or supporting or having a relationship with them.
Sure, you're mixing 2 different things up. I'm talking about having a meeting.
I don't think I'm mixing 2 different things up. I'm just trying to get clarity on it because there seems to be some inconsistencies in your views of it.
There's no inconsistency.
Tulsi, don't let her talk to you like that. Get her. Pretend she's Kamala Harris.
Whatsoever. Having a meeting for the pursuit of our national security and peace is one thing. I would meet with the leader of Saudi Arabia, with leaders of Iran, with leaders of North Korea in that pursuit of national security.
Sound a lot like Trump there.
Keeping the American people in safe. The difference between that and what Donald Trump has done and continues to do is he has cozied up, allied with, and supported Saudi Arabia in their support of al-Qaeda and in support of this genocidal war in Yemen that continues to this day. An illegal war that Congress has not authorized, that's killed thousands of innocent Yemeni people, and that's caused millions more to suffer.
So I hear you.
So you're talking about 2 very different things here. But you know what? These are issues.
Congresswoman. I hear you on this. I hear you on this. So I want to go with this for a moment. So when sitting down with someone like Bashar al-Assad in Syria, do you confront him directly and say, why do you order chemical attacks on your own people? Why do you cause the killings of over 500,000 people in your country?
Look, I want to break this down to what we're talking about.
It's really a yes or no answer.
I want to break this down to what we're talking about here today because...
Man, she's going after her. She really is. I'll tell you what, this is the type of debate questioning they really needed when MSNBC had the debate.
You're talking about a meeting that took place 3 years ago?
Well, Congresswoman,
and every time I come back, here on MSNBC, you guys talk to me about these issues. It sounds like these are talking points that Kamala Harris and her campaign are feeding you because she's refusing to address the questions that were posed to her.
Congresswoman, it's important, I think, for the American people to have context about your foreign policy issues and where you stand. If you're leading with foreign policy and you're running for the President of the United States, a meeting with Bashar al-Assad...
She doesn't even let her finish, but did you see what she said? It sounds like the Kamala Harris team is trying to help her out here. MSNBC looks like they're in the bag for Kamala Harris, and CNN clearly in the bag for Joe Biden.
Tell us this. This proves how much of a success Trump is. She's using Trump talking points. How many times did Trump say, "Oh, foxes"? You do a better Trump. Foxes in the bag for the bushes. The bushes. I don't even know if I want to go and do. I don't even know if I want to go and do that debate in South Carolina.
He does have great hand motions.
They are in for the bushes.
Tulsi Gabbard there, pretty much pushing back on MSNBC. She's listen, she could take some fire. I'll give her that. I mean, she's good.
She looks fire.
She's good right there under pressure. I had to be reminded that she must have met with Bashar I can't even say. Man, I'm just having a bad day with names today. Assad.
Your body's telling you to
forget
quit.
it.
How many hours have you been sitting here with like a Malouk doing this coverage? That's what it is.
Some breaking news again, and it's not AOC. It is now. We have our first poll, right?
Yeah, you've been waiting for this, Guillermo.
I've been waiting for this for 2 days.
All
Our
right.
first poll after the second set of debates is now out. And Jairus, what are the polls saying about the second round of debates for the Democrats?
So there actually is a surprise. I'm going to go down the list. Pay attention to who is in third. Pay attention to who is in third. That's what's important. All right, now, former Vice President Joe Biden has a 2-1 lead nationally over the next closest Democrat presidential contender after the second round of debates, according to the newest Harvest X poll. So this is basically from the Hill TV, Harvest X poll.
Gotcha, okay.
Nationwide poll. All right, survey has creepy Joe Biden, no personal space Joe Biden, at 34% among Democrats.
That's higher because wasn't he like in the low 30s? Now he's kind of in the mid 30s.
All right, so yeah, write it down as I'm saying them. Joe Biden at 34%. Bernie Sanders, I'm very happy. Bernie Sanders is at 17%. Here's the one you got to watch for. Kamala Harris
You're
is
kidding
in
me.
at third with 9%.
She went down.
Followed by Pocahontas at 8. South Bend Mayor at 4. Pete Buttigieg at 4. Beto O'Rourke at 3. Bootleg Obama, beta male Bootleg Obama at 2%. So that rundown again really quickly. Joe Biden, 34%. Bernie Sanders, 17%. Kamala Harris, 9%. Elizabeth Warren, 8%. Pete Buttigieg, 4%. Beto O'Rourke, 3%. And Cory Booker, 2%. First poll out from the Hill Harvest X. Latest poll out.
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
I really am. I'm surprised. Who is the biggest change?
Well, apparently, now it's only by a percentage point, but nonetheless, Harris is in second or third place. That spot was coveted by Elizabeth Warren.
Elizabeth Warren for a while, huh? Yeah. I'm surprised Gabbard isn't at 2%.
Yeah. So
where's Gabbard at 1% still?
Like most of these polls, you got to scroll all the way to the bottom to get to the losers. Let me see if I can find that. But she's under 2 at the very. We know that at the very
under
least.
2%.
Cory Booker's at 2, so at the most she's at 2%, and I don't even think she's that high up.
Well, when you get the margin of error, she could be. Some of these candidates might not even. Wow, I'm surprised. Pete Buttigieg 4%. Well, what this shows us is that obviously. Creepy Joe is up, right? Because like I said, he was in the mid 30s.
Yeah, Joe's at 30. Now, people don't remember is Joe was on the upswing going into the debate.
Yep.
He had already, I guess you could say hit rock bottom.
Kamala Harris has gone down.
Kamala has gone down as well. And so her and Elizabeth Warren are virtually, we don't know the margin of error, but 1 point. I mean, in politics, if you're within 5 points, that's like from the movie. So you're saying there's a chance. They're basically, they're basically tied. There's literally 1 point separating them. Pete tends to have a little motion. But I don't know. Is that up or down for Bootleg Obama? 2%. I feel like that he usually got to scroll all the way to the bottom to get the results from him.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Politico and Morning Consult did a poll as well. This is Friday. This is today. Biden is at 32. In there, Sanders is at 18. Warren at 15. So this one has Warren in third place. Harris at 10. Buttigieg at 6. O'Rourke at 3, Booker at 3, Yang at 2, Gabbard at 1. Even Yang is now at 2%. Andrew Yang is at 2% in the Morning Consult poll. Castro 1, Delaney 1, Steyer 1, Gabbard 1, Ryan 1. Yeah, wow. Biden's up by 14 here in this one. Now, this is what I know all of you want to know. Does Bernie Sanders beat President Trump in the general? Rasmussen is saying Sanders is polling at 46. Trump 45, Sanders +1.
Man.
Yeah, President Trump's approval rating, according to Rasmussen reports, approve 48%, disapprove 50. So disapprove +2. But I mean, it's kind of unchanged, man. And I don't see
it is
besides the poll the one that you just came out with, where Kamala.
And even that change really just shows that Elizabeth Warren and Kamala are even, not as much that one has surpassed the other.
You know what it is? I don't think people. Well, we know that.
And the thing is, guys, is we're gonna square these. These are the first ones. This was the smart kid in class that wanted to finish their project first. There's going to be at the least 4 or 5 polls over the course of next week that are going to come out. So really, when we're at this point a week from today, next week, and we're able to look at all the averages of the polls that have come out afterwards, then we're going to get a clearer picture. But this is the first shining light that we're seeing, and it looks like Joe Biden he either stayed where he is or he's going to actually benefit a little bit from that debate.
Yeah, well, we do know that the ratings were really low for these two debates, and I don't think the American people really care. They're not in tune right now, and that's why these polls really are unchanged. I don't think anybody really cared about,
the people really didn't want to watch, and the Democrat
Do we have ratings?
And the Democrat overlords, they weren't too happy about it either. Obama.
Yeah, Obama was pretty happy. Yeah. So I mean, you got to ask yourself, at what point in time do these debates really just start to hurt the Democrat Party? I mean, there's too many.
I mean, if they're not getting their message out,
no one's watching it.
If they're not getting their message out, no one's watching them. The former messiah of the party doesn't like how things are going. This is only benefiting Trump because the only thing that comes out of this is how crazy these people are.
Yep. And also what this is also going to show is that Kamala only rose in the poll after the first time by beating the living daylights out of Joe. They're going to start. There's going to be so much infighting between every single one on debate 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. They're just going to go after each other, which is further after each other and further after Obama. Mm-hmm. So I mean, it's just things are coming up Trump.
Pretty much, man.
Things are looking better.
So on top of the news, we mentioned the other person who has made it into the debate is the abominable socialist snow woman,
I don't know.
Amy Klobuchar. She has made it into the next debate.
What? How has she made it in the next debate? What is she? Where is she at 2%? Because that was one of the requirements. You have to show that you're in 2% in 4 polls.
The polls that she submitted to the DNC, we don't know. They don't release what
she's not in. She's not on any of the real.
We don't know the polls that they released to the DNC. That was apparently enough to get her in. So.
Yeah. Okay. Political morning consult. She's not even at 1% there.
Headline is here. This is from NPR. Amy Klobuchar qualifies for the September Democratic debate campaign, announces 8 candidates have now qualified for the September debate of the Democratic primary, with Senator Amy Klobuchar of Minnesota announcing Friday that she has met the donor threshold for the stage.
Donor threshold. Okay, so she's not fully qualified because remember, she has to prove, I think it's 4 polls, right? 4 polls that she's at 2%.
Yeah,
or better.
She will join Vice President Joe Biden, Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders, Senator Elizabeth Warren, Senator Kamala Harris, South Bend Mayor Pete Buttigieg, former Texas Representative, NPR doesn't even have it correct here, Beto O'Rourke, and New Jersey Senator Cory Booker. There you go, man. Stages. Hey, Guillermo, we might have to have 2 nights. We were excited.
I hope they
only 5 people, only 5 or 6 or 7 people. We can get this done in a 1-3-hour set, but who knows? We might have to spend 6 hours.
Well, what they said was if they have over 10, they're going to do 2 nights. Mm-hmm. So then they'll just split it, I guess, whatever. And
ABC, they've already done press releases. They're planning on having it for 2 nights, so they're pretty. Looks like we're going to be stuck for 2 nights of this madness again.
Well, I'll tell you what, we come back, we're going to take a quick break, and in the next segment, or right before the 5 o'clock hour, we will be having Congressman Devin Nunes calling into the show.
What a way to round out our coverage.
What a way, that's right. The closer, he's going to be closing out our long week of covering the debates in Detroit, and the numbers are out. Joe Biden still at the top, mid-30s, depending on which poll you look at. Joe Biden still at top. Bernie Sanders, the socialist, should be pretty happy because...
I told everyone I did a damn good job. Now where's my oatmeal? I eat oatmeal for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks.
There you go, Bernie Sanders in studio apparently with us as well. I'll tell you what, much
I'm
more.
Here too. Don't deny me just because I'm a black woman.
Kamala Harris also in studio. I'll tell you what, we'll come back here on the new Talk Radio 1680 KGED.
Grabian, the multimedia...
help the president get elected. And did you hear the president on the lawn today? Listen to this.
Talk about
I believe one of the more baffling things of a baffling presidency. I mean, there is no doubt that they're
fires, frankly. And if they should need it, I offered our assistance. We had a good talk, a short assistance. We had a good talk, a short talk, but a good talk. And I think he appreciated it. So we would be able to help them. These are massive fires like I haven't seen. That was the primary importance of the conversation. And I think they very much appreciate it.
It's one of the more baffling things of.
All right, folks, we appreciate you guys all tuning in here. We haven't been able to get to some of your comments, so let's do that right now. Jairus.
Tulsi is a Republican and doesn't know it. Well, maybe Belinda. That is why reporters are not leaving the country. You don't understand them by keep it. What did I say anything dirty? Keep it clean, Jairus.
Who said that?
May not need more dirty. What?
Okay.
Well, they were dirty. Polls lie. Hashtag polls lie. Yeah, that's true.
That's a good point.
Michigan Mike says polls should stay in Poland. And the award for Dad Joke of the Week goes to Michigan Mike.
Michigan, was he also the one that was making fun of my shirt?
No, that was the guy that told me to keep it clean.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. Devin Nunes will be coming up before 5 o'clock, so you're not going to want to miss that.
I agree with Belinda. We need to have an exorcism so I can get that evil Bernie Sanders and Kamala spirit out of me.
An exorcism?
I'm not going anywhere!
Oh, that's great. I love it.
What happened to the...
What happened to what?
Little whisper quiet in-studio fan stuff.
All right, let me get Shepard.
Want to have a deal that would include all the time.
You should need it.
I think it's universal. If any of our fans out there, if you watch Fox,
of the
when it's noon, at least
massive fires like I haven't seen.
As soon as I see Shepard come, I'm gone. I turn the channel as soon as it's Shepard Smith reporting.
He's bad, man.
I mean, his set is cool and everything, but that ain't work. I mean, go work. I told you, I'm willing to switch. Jake Tapper, if it's the Jake Tapper from the debate, I'll take Jake Tapper at noon. Good job. I'll take Jake Tapper at noon from CNN, and they can go ahead and have that dummy Shepard Smith. All I'm saying, I don't like him, and it's not just me. Other Republicans feel that way.
Your home for all things Campaign 2020. Talk Radio 1680, KGED.
Jairus Lee, Guillermo Moreno in studio here, wrapping up debate week in Detroit. And, listen, CNN, I think, did a better job. You'll agree with me than MSNBC the first night around. But I'll tell you what, next time it's going to be ABC and Univision, also known as Univision.
Univision.
Yeah, good try. Good try. Univision. Or you just say Univision. That's what everybody...
Is that like the stupid American?
No, just Univision. But anyhow, this
by
guy.
the way, Guillermo, are there any Spanish? Are there any American speaking and not because I know you can get Fox News and CNN in Mexico, but are there any
There's CNN in Espanol.
But is there is there a major news station that's based in Mexico that's in English?
Oh, I'm sure there are.
Because I know they get a lot of English. They get virtually every channel we have.
Yeah,
here.
no, I'm sure there are.
No, I mean based.
No, they're probably based out here.
Okay, that's my point.
Yeah.
So there's no news network, nationwide news network that's based in Mexico that's English.
I don't know the answer.
Like how we have news networks here.
Univision. Oh, gotcha, like an Univision, but an American version.
Yeah, basically
gotcha,
a news network that operates completely out of
Not
Mexico.
that I Gosh, no, not that I can.
Man, I gotta say, Guillermo, they do not cater to us nearly as much as we cater to them.
Oh, here we go.
Something I've.
Well, one guy that we probably should send to Mexico, and you'll agree with me, is Shepard Smith. Here's Shepard Smith now getting on. He's become so anti-Trump, man. Shepard Smith from Fox. Here we go.
And you want
Was the primary
Huh? All right.
importance of the conversation, and I think they very much appreciate it.
It's one of the more baffling things of a baffling presidency. I mean, there is no doubt that they're interfering, and yet he won't even, he goes, do you believe that? Yeah, I believe it. I believe everyone in your government. I believe everyone in the intelligence apparatus. Of course I believe it. Is he the only one who doesn't believe it, or is he making it up?
Shepard Smith there.
And you know what's worse is Shepard Smith is speaking with another one of the bad ones that Fox News has, Chris Wallace. That video clip is literally the worst Fox News has to offer.
All right, here's Chris Wallace.
Now, I think that the president, to the degree that I'm going to put myself and try to interpret what's going on here, I think he views any statement
Hey, why don't you try to interpret the Mueller report the right way, buddy?
Listen,
like that.
oh my gosh.
As, in effect, a statement, you didn't get legitimately elected, and that somehow it discredits his victory in 2016. So I think his kind of initial reflex reaction is to push back on that. Now, in fact, the government has done some things to try to secure our 2020 election from Russian interference and cyber threats from anybody. But I think when Donald Trump is presented with that, his...
All right, that's enough of that.
God, where's Hannity and Tucker Carlson when you need them?
Right?
Jeez.
Man, exactly. That is exactly correct.
So what's the worst Fox has to offer, folks? Right there for you.
Yeah, I don't know. Was he always that? Was Shepard Smith always that way?
No. So this is what I was going to mention at the top of it. You know, the connection is Roger Ailes dies. Shepard Smith comes out as gay, and all of a sudden now he's wildly left-wing, openly wildly left-wing. That's not the only thing he's open with. But yeah, but now he's a left-winger.
I'll tell you what, we have Congressman Devin Nunes on the line, our very own congressman. We're honored to have him here at the New Talk Radio 1680 KGED. Congressman Nunes, how are you?
Good. Sounds like you guys are having some fun today.
Oh, man. Well, we have to, listen, man, we have to make our own entertainment because after watching 2 nights of that, we just, it was hard. Congressman, did you watch the debates? What'd you think?
No way. Man, it's my time. You guys must be bored, or I guess you must have to figure your so you have to talk about it. But
yeah, no, we've been making paper airplanes the whole time, just trying to throw them in studio.
Clips, and I saw what some of the reporting was, and it looks like they're just going far left. I mean, when they're throwing Obama under the bus, you have to wonder what's going on.
Yeah, that's very true.
That's the only good part about the debate is we can now be open about how terrible Obama's presidency is. Only benefit.
That's very true.
Everyone's now in agreement, Republicans and Democrats, that Obama was a terrible president.
There you go, bipartisan support.
That's what I call unity, Congressman, unity.
That is absolutely correct. Congressman Nunes, apparently they met, what is it, like now half of the Democrats now agree with impeachment of the president. What are you seeing in D.C. with regards to impeachment, Nancy Pelosi? Do you think they're actually going to bring it forward? Do you think Nancy Pelosi's going to just mess up her legacy like that?
Well, my guess is, we've already voted on it now twice, I believe. Maybe 3. I lost track now, but I know twice. We just voted on it about 2 weeks ago, I guess, and it received 95 votes.
95 votes.
Yeah, since that time, more Democrats have come out and said that they support it. So they're getting well over 100 now. So Pelosi can't control it totally. So they can force the Democrats can force a vote. So my guess is whether or not she wants it or not, there will be another vote. Wow. And it'll get more than 95. So I don't know how many times they keep offering this, but the big time will come is if they start to move it through the Judiciary Committee, because that's where impeachment actually is supposed to go through. If they do that, then it becomes real.
So as we've been saying, is she not? Because you said she's not going to have a choice. Is she not in control of this at all? Is she not really steering this ship?
Well, she doesn't want to. I mean, she has not let the Judiciary Committee move forward. So I think to be considered a serious impeachment, you would have to take it through the committee to be, considered, serious. I mean, not that a vote on the floor is not serious, but these are more show votes. And so, there's a lot of Democrats who are probably in their districts right now hiding from that vote, saying, look, it's got to run through the regular process, blah, 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 telling their partisan Democrats this is why they don't want to move it through, because it hasn't been through the normal process. So at some point, that will have to start, and then it'll put a lot of Democrats in a bad spot, because there's not a reason to impeach the president other than you just have not accepted the vote of the people back in 2016.
Yeah, and you're right. That's very true. It's going to hurt a lot of their re-elect campaigns. Congressman Devin Nunes on the line with us. How are we doing as far as taking back the House? I know it's something that a lot of us might.
We don't hear much about it.
How are we doing, Congressman?
Well, we need 18 votes we need to switch 18 seats. The focus has been on the seats that are that Trump won. So there's enough seats just in that category that give us a good shot to win back the House. So we've got to keep. There's still some seats we have to keep. There'd be others we have to pick up. Right here in the Valley, if David Valadao runs, I think we have a really good shot at winning back his seat. And if that's a seat actually that is considered a Democratic seat. So, that could be one that we could win. So there's a good shot at us taking back the House. The big challenge is going to be the money. Yeah. And getting, people all across the country to give donations to members of Congress in order to take back the House.
Yeah, that's a very good point. You gotta have money. That's very true. Congressman Devin Nunes, I just want to ask you. We were watching. We were watching the Mueller hearings. I wonder what you were thinking sitting next to Adam Schiff, just having to listen to this guy. I mean, how do you get through it? How do you sit there? I mean, it was painful to watch. I don't know. Go ahead,
guys. I have to do it. You just don't. It's just not on national television every day. I do it multiple times a week.
That's very true.
And have for many years. It's been obviously very difficult the last 2.5 years when they stopped doing Intelligence Committee work and just started being anti-Trump and pro-impeachment and pro-Russia collusion hoax.
Yeah. Did the Democrats not realize that Robert Mueller was that bad?
Well, my question is, was it as bad as it looked on TV? I mean, you were right in front of him. Was it as bad as it looked on TV, and was it as much of a failure as it felt like it was?
Well, they were trying to they had to have known that Robert Mueller wasn't in charge of this investigation. So we actually did learn something, too. We didn't realize that. And so they were hoping to get him to do exactly what he did in the Judiciary Committee hearing. Not to get in the weeds, but he made some statements about the Office of Legal Counsel because they figured he could talk about that enough to be coherent. He had enough knowledge on it. And the key to that is for the Democrats wanted him to say that because that would be a reason that they could move forward on impeachment. It's basically saying that, well, it was because, we didn't recommend impeachment because of this previous decision that a president can't be indicted.
Yeah.
But if you remember, Attorney General Barr did a really good job to get Mueller on the record right after that, when that had first happened, after his stunt where he went out and gave his 9-minute speech. And that came after that point. There was an agreement between Mueller committed, I think 3 different times that was not the reason for their decision not to indict. So the first half worked out exactly as they wanted to. However, during intermission, before the Intelligence Committee came out, clearly somebody got to Mueller and said, hey, man, you got a big problem here. And once that came out, it was that, right at the start of, a lot of people probably missed this, but at the beginning of the Intelligence Committee hearing, Mueller came out and said, oh, sorry, I said the wrong thing in the last hearing. So from there on out, it was just an absolute train wreck for them.
Oh, man.
So the whole thing looked bad. I mean, anybody watching knew that it was bad for the Democrats, but they were just hoping for that for Mueller to say something and screw up on the Office of Legal Counsel, which he did. But then he fixed it, and then it became watching like a toilet flush in slow motion.
And that was the whole Ted Lieu incident, correct? When Ted Lieu tried to pit him on that question, and he had to come back.
It is that incident, and if you look back at all their questions, were based on that. If you look back, they were all trying to prod and poke and get Mueller to make a mistake, which he finally did.
Congressman Nunes, do you think they're done with it? And they'll never be done with it. But do you think they're going to kind of put this behind them? And if this, I don't know how to. It's just a losing. It's a losing case for them. Are they going to keep talking about this?
I always thought from the very beginning that they couldn't possibly be serious, but it never stops. It never ends. I mean, there's people, and they've poisoned so many minds across the country on this that people really believe that Trump is being controlled by Russian agents, that I'm being controlled by Vladimir Putin. That it goes on and it never ends. So I think they've dug themselves in so deep they just can't get out of it. I mean, I think their problem is that the base of the Democratic Party believes in the Russia hoax, and that's a problem for them. And they've lied, and so now they'd have to abandon it would mean to say, there's really nothing there, which they just can't do because they would completely lose their base.
Yeah, they've perpetuated this thing so far down that how do you get out of it without just continuing to talk about it? It's just a losing battle. Congressman Devin Nunes on the line. I want to get more local here. Water. I you've done a lot with water. The president has also helped us out. Where are we at with water and getting water back to our valley?
Well, we're waiting on the president issued an executive action, gave him till June to the two departments to figure it out.
Okay.
Interior Department came back with favorable decision on the new science. And this is all about. Sorry to be so flippant. I'm just assuming that people know this is about the pumps in the Delta and whether or not at what level they can run. So the Interior Department went fast. The Commerce Department has moved at a snail's pace. That's finally been moved back to Washington. They've been given a couple extensions, and so we're waiting for the Commerce Department to come out with the new science.
Okay.
And once that happens, then the pump should run at a higher level starting in the fall. Now, remember that there will be lawsuits. So
of course.
I'm sure it'll be interesting to see what the state of California does, what the governor does on this. But my guess is he'll support the environmentalist position.
Oh man, guys, it's just so frustrating. You mentioned the governor, and I know they're trying to remove President Trump off of the ballot. Have you talked to the president about that? They're trying to get him with this. It's just a nightmare with these California politicians, these leaders in the Democrats.
Yeah, but that's it's unconstitutional. It's silly. I don't think anybody no reasonable person buys that that's a good use of time. So if the Democrats want to continue up in Sacramento to ignore the homelessness problem, to ignore the economy struggling here in California compared to the rest of the country. You're not seeing the small business startups. You continue to see small businesses leave. You continue to see retired people leave the state. And other states are just doing so much better, and that's because of the failed policies of a one-party system based on socialism.
Yeah.
So the more they want to pass socialist policies, bad for us, bad for California, but ultimately, people, this is what they voted for, and they need to wake up.
Yeah, no kidding. You're there's been a lot of talk about AOC and the Green New Deal. When you're when you're in DC, do the majority of the congressmen and women there that are on the Democrat side, do they truly believe in this stuff? I mean, do they? Because you hear them, you see them, and they're just like, hey, we got to take bold action. This is what we got to do. They really believe this stuff coming out of the Green New Deal camp?
Well, it depends on your definition of the Green New Deal. So, if you listen to the people who wrote the Green New Deal, it's only called green, so it sounds like it's something about clean energy and climate change and global warming. But that's not really what it's about. When you talk to the people who actually wrote it, they admit it was a whole change in how our economy works. It's a socialist, communist economy that they want to build. So, do they? A lot of them totally understand it. Some of them just went along with it because it sounded like, who can't be for something green? Everybody's for green now.
Yeah.
That's why they went along with it. There's just really a mixture. But look, the bottom line is this: there used to be a handful of socialists. Bernie Sanders used to be in the House of Representatives before he was in the Senate. He was usually by himself or ignored. Now there are probably close to 100 of them who are socialists or who would prefer socialism.
Gosh.
Yeah. You ever interact with AOC? Like, you ever, just curious.
That's a good question. I've only seen her like twice.
Oh.
So I haven't even, other than when she's, across on the other side of the, when we're all meeting on the floor of the House.
Yeah.
But I've actually only walked and passed her just a couple times. In fact, the first time I didn't even recognize her.
That's awesome. Congressman Devin, we appreciate you coming on. We appreciate your time. Thank you for thinking of us. And last thing, can you please convince Valadao to get in there, jump in, and we desperately need him to. We need TJ Cox out of it.
I think he will. I know he was going on vacation with his family. He filed the necessary paperwork, so I think when he gets back, he'll do an evaluation. There's a couple polls that come out. He's doing very, very well. So,
awesome.
I think there's a good shot he gets in.
Awesome.
So you guys, I appreciate you having me on, and I'm glad you guys are having a good time today.
Oh, absolutely. We will make it a good time, and thank you for coming on and rounding out our coverage. Congressman Devin Nunes, the one and only. Thank you, and thank you for everything you do. Thank you so much, Congressman.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Congressman Devin Nunes, everybody, we appreciate him, and he's going on Tucker Carlson next. He's a busy man.
Well, from one big show to another.
That's right, one big show to another. That's
big
right.
Big players go on big shows. What do you expect?
That's right, Congressman Devin Nunes. We appreciate him. I'll tell you, when we come back, much more to come here on our never-ending coverage of the Democrat debates, and just found out today, yesterday, that there's going to be the climate debates. The Climate Forum.
Yeah, we're going to be very busy in September. 2 nights of Climate Forum, 2 nights of debate, and then a single night of Climate Forum. Busy September.
Anyhow, all right, 559-442-1680. You're listening to the new Talk Radio 1680 KGED.
Out front tonight, Senator Kamala Harris today on defense.
All right, appreciate you guys all tuning in. We appreciate Congressman Nunes coming on the show.
It was great.
It was great. Fantastic. I want to say hi to everybody. Belinda, Richard, Teresa, Jose, Barbara, everybody out there on Facebook land, and especially if you're watching on local television station 32.3, we appreciate you watching as well. When we come back, some people think Kamala Harris... Oh, so he does think it was... Okay, gotcha.
Oh, my God.
Gotcha. My bad. Good-ish.
You give out everything. At least you got lightning.
Lightning bolt. Pink lightning bolts on my pink lightning bolts. Oh, they were yellow this morning when I put them on. All right.
Well, technically, your eyes, if you haven't walked outside yet, your eyes
Dilated. Relax, Marianne Williamson. Relax there.
It's not that crazy of an idea that it was a different color this morning.
I called up Jairus and I said, boyfriend, you're so wrong. These lightning bolts represent love. Did you see your email? Oh, my gosh.
Look at the emails the day before the debate.
Yeah, Julian Castro. We're doing so well. We're at 2%. Where's he at exactly? He's at 1%. My bad.
At a minimum of, yeah.
I was giving him too much credit. What am I talking about?
Those 9 weirdos in Iowa still think he's shot, sleep, throw away from the president.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. This is like the longest break ever. I know. Come on. Gotta pay bills, but jeez.
Guys!
All right, folks, we're still paying some bills, so...
Someone's got to keep this place running.
Right, got to keep all these lights on. How many lights do we have in the studio? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 lights.
25, 26.
No, I counted those in the back.
No.
26.
25.
Is my math off?
These.
And now, Guillermo Moreno and Jairus Jackson.
What a week it has been, and we want to thank Congressman Devin Nunes, who was just on with us. We appreciate his time. We appreciate him and everything that he's been doing for our district and the American people. He's been doing. That's right. He's been doing. He's been at it. All right, so I'll tell you what. Charlemagne the God.
Hey, your boy.
Oh my gosh.
Charlemagne.
Charlemame. Who? This was the famous interview when Kamala Harris said
lied.
Yeah, she lied. We got Kamala Harris in the studio. What did Kamala Harris say in that?
Listen, when I was a young black woman, I smoked marijuana while listening to Tupac because I was down with the struggle.
And she said, come on, my family's Jamaican. Remember?
And my family, my family, we are of, Jamaican descent.
So this was the guy that had her on her show, Charlemagne the God, and he was asked, hey, how do you think she did? How did debate night 2 go for her?
Now, by the way, this is an ardent supporter. This man is in love with Kamala. No, I shouldn't say that. He wants to vote for Kamala. He thinks Kamala should be the nominee. He's not crazy on Bernie Sanders. And, this is what he had to say. This is what again, millions of people follow this man. Millions of people watch and listen to his show. This is an ardent Kamala supporter. This is what he had to say on CNN about her debate performance.
Charlemagne the God with Aaron Burnett on CNN.
She is a top 10 candidate. Her, Joe Biden on that stage were the big guns, so everybody was, coming up against them. I mean, and Gabbard, I can't even pronounce her name. Is it Gabbard? She is at 0%.
You got it right, buddy.
So you like the swagger. You like the I don't mean to be immodest.
Yeah, it's the truth. Even though she should have had that swagger on the stage last night because she was terrible on the stage.
Okay, all right. Is she still your favorite or?
Yeah, she's still my favorite simply because our current president is a criminal, and who better to go up against a criminal than a prosecutor? Donald Trump needs to be prosecuted.
So I want to ask you about another candidate that we've talked about, you've had on your show, Cory Booker. Obviously,
Yes.
you know him well from New Jersey. The
Hold
senator.
on.
No. What he's about to say about Cory Booker is really good.
All right, here we go.
Let it go.
I asked you before which candidate was the least comfortable talking about race and all the conversations that you've had with him, and you said, without hesitation, Cory Booker. You told me we want to know exactly what type of agenda you have for African Americans, and you said he wasn't prepared to answer that. Did he change your mind at all last night?
Cory Booker won the debate last night, if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? I thought he did great, and because he brought up things that I've been waiting for people to question.
He just brought up what you drink, Kool-Aid. Oh, I'm gonna vote for him now. He brought up Kool-Aid. We're cool.
What you drink? That was pretty much it. That's pretty much the extent of that.
What did everybody? Listen. CNN's panel as well said Cory Booker and Julian Castro won the. I don't even know what we watched then.
They must have been. I don't know. Who knows?
Is there more? Is there anything else better than that, or that's it?
That's about it.
That's about it. All right.
The fact that he thinks Cory Booker did the best job is great. So let's be clear.
That Kool-Aid thing really hit it out of the ballpark.
In Charlemagne's world, Donald Trump's a criminal. Cory Booker did the best job. All right, I don't know if this is
and apparently Kamala Harris is going to prosecute President Trump while she's on the campaign trail. Literally, she's like,
I don't know.
the stupidest thing ever.
Can we just point out, so what, he's black, so basically being black and having a big following is all it takes to be brought on CNN as someone who's an intellectual, political wizard?
You know what? I guess.
That really seems like a low bar, that you have dark skin and you have a big following. That's all it takes for CNN to bring you on.
And I like...
And he's been on Don Lemon. He's been on in prime time. You don't feel smarter after listening to him, that's for sure.
Well, I do like how he tried to pronounce Gabbard, and he knew how to say it. He tore her up.
Gabble. You know how we in the hood. Gabble. Tells it.
Yeah. What does that say? What does that say about where the Democrats are at? Where all they got to do is do like one punchline, and they're in. You know, the Kool-Aid thing, and all of a sudden, oh my gosh, the guy won the debate. Marianne Williamson. She had a horrible night, but she you know, the couple of minutes she had on reparations, and boom, maybe Joe Biden just needs to prepare his one-liners, and
it doesn't take much, Guillermo. Doesn't take much. Unfortunate.
Well, I'll tell you what, much more to come here on the new Talk Radio 1680 KGED as we round out debate week, and you're not going to want to miss it. Next month, September 12th and 13th, right here on the new Talk Radio 1680 KGED, we're going to be taking the debates live.
Live from the Lone Star State, which is basically as blue as California, according to Beto.
Oh, my gosh. Anyhow, we're going to be the ones taking it here, so you're not going to want to miss it on the new Talk Radio 1680 KGED.
Is Donald Trump the president? Yes, he is re-elected and president. Is Donald Trump the president? Yes, we had a vote and elected and president. Donald Trump is the president.
All right, folks, we appreciate you guys tuning in. We thank you so much. We have to end our live feed there. We thank you for joining us all week. Thank you. Right, Jairus?
Oh, my gosh.
Oh.
We should go, you know what we should do? If we could, locally, we would all take them out to a nice steak
We would
dinner.
take you all out. Well, I'm a vegetarian.
Okay, then you ain't going, because
So-
only real red-blooded meat-eating Americans get to go. We're gonna go to a nice restaurant, get some steaks. What are you gonna sit there and do? Eat a salad?
And, well, you know what? There's this taco truck I love. They make tacos out of jackfruit.
What's jackfruit?
It's not very good.
So
but
they make
it's,
tacos out of the fruit?
Yeah,
that's disgusting.
That's about as for vegetarians. That's about as good as it gets. Good as it gets. But I'm not one of those haters. Like I'm going to go and.
No, the thing is you understand cheeseburgers and steaks.
Oh
are
yeah,
delicious. You understand that it's amazing.
I was Catholic. I used to eat cotton. I used to eat tongue. I used to eat cow tongue, pig intestine. I used to eat everything.
Bull penis?
No, oh come on, bro. No, people eat that?
Yeah, black people do.
Are you serious?
Bull penises? Yeah.
I did not know that.
Wait, no, I'm not trying to be funny. So
I didn't know that.
I thought so. That's the exotic thing that Mexicans do. The cow tongue.
Cow tongue, yeah, cow tongue.
There's a race of people, or their thing is. Like,
really?
Yeah.
Did not know that.
Bull. It might be white people, probably. Most likely.
You don't even know.
Most likely.
Why it gotta be white?
I'm just throwing it out there. I know. I
All
don't
right,
know.
well.
I gotta stop watching that. What was that? That was the bald guy who eats the weird food.
Joe Rogan?
No. Anthony
Bourdain?
No, he's
the guy that died. And he ain't bald.
There's another one on the Travel Channel. He goes around and eats weird food. I gotta stop watching that show.
Ugh, you do. Anyhow, again, we appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week, same time.